They are silent, but strong indications that disclose something special about who you are and what you came to do in this world. There are marks on the hands that go beyond the commonplace and indicate something about who you are. There are certain individuals that wear a symbol that is shaped like a crescent moon. On the palms of some individuals is a mystery letter M that has been marked. Individuals who exhibit more than one of these indications are also a distinct category. These particulars are not merely a matter of curiosity. They are, in the eyes of many, unmistakable indications that the individual is a member of a unique group known as the chosen ones. People with a goal, people with great sensitivity, people who feel things more deeply, and those who see the world with unusual eyes are the ones who are chosen, select individuals. On the other hand, there are numerous varieties of selected ones. Additionally, each type is accompanied by a spiritual obligation, a mission, and a gift that it brings with it. In this video, you will learn about the 3 different sorts of selected individuals that have signs on their hands, as well as the information that this conveys about you, your essence, and your destiny. It will become clear to you that the presence of these indications is not a coincidence. They are invites, calls, and reminders that there is something more significant waiting for you, and that perhaps the moment to awaken is now than it has ever been before. Thus, pay attentive attention. You have a crescent moon, a letter M, or both of these things. It is possible that you will be startled by what you find out about yourself as a result of the tremendous meaning that each combination conveys. Take advantage of the opportunity to follow the channel right now if you have been moved in any way by the content that has been presented to you. Each video on this channel is created for those who are aware on some level that they are not here by chance. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. Some individuals have a small mark in the shape of a crescent moon at the base of their nails, but this is something that not everyone notices. For many people, it appears to be nothing more than an intriguing particular. Nevertheless, this mark has the potential to be the beginning of a more profound discovery for individuals who sense the called. Similar to a quiet signal, the crescent moon is a symbol. Neither does it yell out. There is no need to pay attention to it. On the other hand, it is present and steadfast. However, for those who are able to connect with the unseen, it speaks a great deal. When a crescent moon is visible, it is common for people to experience a heightened sense of sensitivity. Others are unable to even perceive what they are experiencing. Changes in the surroundings, feelings that are buried deep within them, and omens are all things that come to them effortlessly. When it comes to knowing that something is taking place, they do not require any tangible evidence. They experience it in their dreams, as well as in their bodies and in their chests. Because of this relationship with the cycles of life, they are able to accurately measure individuals' emotional states. There is a natural spirituality that is present in many people who have this sign. Religion, dogma, or regulations are not relevant to this discussion. It is something that emerges from within them, as if they were born with a different kind of wisdom than the rest of the population. Individuals who take pleasure in viewing the sky, the motion of nature, and the phases of the moon do so not because they were instructed to do so by another person, but rather because they believe that doing so makes perfect sense. It is almost as if the soul recalls something that came from the past. This sensitivity, on the other hand, works like a sword with 2 edges. In spite of the fact that it makes it easier to feel empathy and compassion and to connect with the divine, it can also result in feelings of tiredness, melancholy that cannot be described, and even loneliness. People who have the pattern of the crescent moon frequently have a sense of dislocation, as if they do not entirely belong to the world that surrounds them. There is no coincidence about this. Being able to learn how to live between two different worlds is a component of the calling. These people frequently experience dreams that are extremely vivid and full with symbols. Sometimes, when they wake up, they are overcome with intense emotions, messages that they are unable to explain, or even the idea that they traveled to different locations while they were sleeping. Intuition is one of the key abilities that these individuals who have been picked possess. Frequently, they are aware of what is going to take place before any visible indicator is there. Moreover, even when individuals make an effort to disregard this sense, life finds a way to validate it to them. They have a profound connection to the passage of time. They are able to wait, that they know when to act, and that they are able to sense when something has to change. In spite of the fact that they are not entirely aware of the origins of their certainty, this makes them capable of providing outstanding advice. The people who carry this sign did not come simply to follow their own course of action. They became a beacon of light for everyone around them, a kind of covert guide who shone a light on lanterns in times when everything appeared to be in darkness. These individuals frequently find themselves drawn to practices such as meditation, natural remedies, astrology, and ancestral spirituality. All of these disciplines are common. In order to keep the body, mind, and soul in harmony with one another, these are the tools that are available. The road, however, is not always an easy one. Due to the fact that they experience so many feelings, they frequently become engrossed in feelings that are not even their own. Therefore, it is necessary to practice self-care. Having times of alone, being in nature, and silence are more than required. They are really important. It is possible that you have already had the feeling that your presence relaxes situations and that individuals are more likely to open up to you if you have this mark. This is not a lucky occurrence. It is a component of your whole job. If you want to transform, you do not need to make any noise. Your power lies in your ability to listen, perceive, and embrace others, as well as in the way that you notice what is concealed. This happens quite infrequently. It is a priceless value. People like you are much needed in this world. Those who sense things before, who feel more, and who care even when they don't express their feelings verbally. You are holding a reminder in the form of a crescent moon there. You have been selected to understand, to direct, and to heal. Keep in mind that you are not the only one going through this, even if it feels like a burden at times. Other people also bear this mark, and other people also sense this calling. Hence, the two of you together make a network of light that is silent. Are you someone who has ever taken the time to examine the palm of your hand in greater detail? Some individuals become aware of something peculiar, which is produced by the natural lines in the landscape. In addition, when this mark is brought to the forefront, it frequently conveys a unique message. There are numerous instances in which a person already feels a calling, but they may not fully comprehend the origin of that inspiration. Individuals who are born with a noticeable M on their hand bring with them a new energy, a leadership strength that does not require being pushed on them. These people's actions, decisions, and the manner in which they deal with the difficulties of life are all clear manifestations of this. In this context, commanding or controlling is not the issue. It is about motivating others. It is possible for these individuals to exert an influence on those around them, even when they remain silent. When they are present, it is as if they inspire people to take action and take initiative. People who are born under this sign typically confront life head-on. These individuals are brave, resolute, and do not shy away from taking responsibility for their actions. As soon as they become aware that something has to be done, they take charge of the situation virtually without anyone noticing. They do not wait for them to be told what is appropriate by another person. They have a sense of what should be conducted. Moreover, individuals who would rather remain in a state of uncertainty or comfort are frequently irritated by this clarity. A person who possesses emotional intelligence that is above average is also indicated by the letter M. It is possible for them to accurately read circumstances and individuals even if they have not had any technical training. In spite of the fact that there are smiles and kind words, they are able to detect when something is wrong. As a result of this view, many of them are natural advisors, friends who are sought after, and partners who can be trusted. They are able to listen, and more importantly, they are able to guide others by doing so. They have the ability to alter the trajectory of a conversation, a decision, or even a life using only a few words at times. However, do not hold the belief that everything is perfect. Individuals that carry the M are also subject to pressure. At a young age, these individuals are perceived to be powerful, responsible, and capable of dealing with whatever that may come their way. And this might be a very solitary experience. Sometimes, no one will inquire about how they are doing. Within, they have profound feelings. Even though they experience intense highs and lows, they do not always know how to ask for assistance. However, from the outside, they continue to be powerful. It is because they are aware that a great number of people rely on them that they continue to guide. The letter M on the hand is also associated with the concept of justice. Those that carry this sign have a natural understanding of what is right and wrong. When they are confronted with injustice, falsehoods, and manipulation, they develop a restless disposition, and they engage in conflict when it is required. These people have the power to change things. When they move to a new location, something shifts. It doesn't matter if it's only a glance, a word, or an idea. They cultivate seeds even when they are unaware that they are doing so. Even when there is no intention to do so, they produce growth. Practicability is also another one of the outstanding characteristics. Those who have been selected with the M-like action. In addition to having ideas, they are also willing to get their hands filthy. They are not simply dreamers. Rather, they are problem solvers. As a result, they have a tendency to automatically stand out in their respective groups, enterprises, and projects. It makes no difference whether they are located on stage or behind the scenes. The influence of their energy is significant. Every time, they come up with a solution to make things happen. However, this power requires some direction. These individuals have the potential to lose themselves in life pathways that have nothing to do with who they are at their core when they fail to acknowledge their own value. After that, individuals have a sense of emptiness and disconnection, learning to strike a balance between strength and sensitivity, acting with purpose without trampling over their own heart, and leading without bearing the weight of the world on their shoulders is the greatest challenge that individuals who have the M face. There is a possibility that you have previously noticed this symptom if it emerges on your hands. People have a lot of expectations for you. On the other hand, your objective is not to win over everyone. To lead with the truth is the goal. To alter oneself with bravery is the goal. It is not your exclusive purpose to adhere to the guidelines. You are here to make trails, to inspire others by setting an example, to remind them that spiritual leadership is the rarest of all leadership styles, and to remind them that strength and sensitivity may walk together. In and of itself, the discovery of a well-defined M on a single hand is already infrequent. Having two M's, one on each palm, is now an even more remarkable accomplishment. A chosen individual who lives in a state of transition between two worlds is represented by this mark, both in terms of how one feels and how one acts. Individuals that possess this combination typically has gifts that are well balanced. On one side, there is a mentality that is both practical and firm, and it is prepared to make decisions. On the other hand, a heart that is sensitive and intuitive, and that searches for significance in everything that they do. These individuals have a natural talent for strategy. They have profound thoughts, but they act with clarity. Despite the fact that they are able to see far into the future, they are also able to deal with the present, which makes them leaders who are aware. It is the energy of deliberate success that is brought about by the double M. None of these individuals act in a vanity or status-driven manner. They must have faith in the structure that they are constructing. They have to have a sense of authenticity in what they present to the public. Beginning at a young age, it is not uncommon for kids to experience a restlessness that is unpleasant, in the sense that they are perpetually looking for something more significant, a mission, a direction, or a calling. Despite the fact that everything appears to be healthy on the inside, there is a need for more. These individuals have a keen awareness of their feelings. They have a sense of what is out of order, what needs to be healed, and what is not being communicated. At the same time, they possess sufficient bravery to take action in situations where just a small number of people take the lead. Individuals who have an M on each hand are frequently trustworthy, not only because they fulfill their commitments, but also because they convey a sense of safeguarding. It is the strength that they exhibit in their look, in their stance, and in the decisions that they make that provides a sense of comfort. Nevertheless, this resoluteness comes at a price. Those who have been chosen are usually put to the test by life. The purpose of challenging circumstances is not to punish them, but rather to teach them. An increased level of consciousness is reawakened with each obstacle that is conquered. Individuals that have a double M are far more difficult to manipulate. This is your moment. Hit subscribe now and step into something greater. Don't miss out. They have the ability to recognize concealed motives, recognize discrepancies, and identify subtle deception. It's possible that this crystal-clear vision will turn away some individuals, particularly those who have something to conceal. On the other side, they are deeply devoted to their companions. Whenever they feel a connection to a person or a cause, they give their greatest effort. Within the body, the mind, and the soul, they are present. They do not compromise in any way. They are also quite good at mediating conflicts. In addition to bringing together opposing sides, they are able to translate points of view and end confrontations. The reason for this is that they are able to comprehend both reasoning and emotion. They are able to listen, but they are also able to assert themselves in a confident manner. There are times when many of these selected ones have moments of uncertainty. Despite all of this strength, they are uncertain as to whether or not they are heading in the right direction. They are afraid of making mistakes, of disappointing others, and of falling short of expectations. As a routine aspect of the mission, this is to be expected. Learning that feeling is a strength rather than a weakness. and that planning does not negate the soul is the most important thing that one can take away from this experience. It is important to trust one's intuition as much as one trusts methods. To put it simply, it gives form to what is not seen. These individuals possess a significant capacity for materialization. Whenever people visualize anything with precision and intent, it has a tendency to materialize. Since this is the case, it is necessary for them to take care of their words, energies, and thoughts. These seeds are alive and well. You may have already had the experience of feeling that your function in the world is more significant than it appears to be if you have an M on each hand. Indeed, you are correct. Your purpose in coming was to construct bridges between the spiritual and the material worlds. In order to accomplish your objective, you must lead with awareness, serve with purpose, and live with honesty. In situations where no one is observing, you have the impression that you are being directed. Indeed, you are the case. On your hands, there is a double mark that serves as a reminder that you are not split. You are complete in every way. In addition, the more you connect with the person that you genuinely are, the more transparent your path will become. Some individuals are able to hold two powerful signs on the same hand at the same time. A crescent moon and the letter M are both symbols. The appearance of these two symbols together is indicative of a combination that is extremely uncommon and of great significance. Sensitivity, intuition, and a closer connection to the spiritual realm are all represented by the crescent moon. Leadership, clarity, and action are all brought about by the M. There is a certain kind of chosen one that emerges when both are together. One who walks with one foot in the invisible world and the other foot in the world that we actually live in. The individual in this profile has a strong connection to their feelings, but they also have the ability to translate those sentiments into actions. However, they are also able to plan with their feet firmly planted on the ground. They are able to listen to their instincts. In addition to having a warrior's heart, they have a dreamy soul. It is common for individuals who possess this combination to have perception that is above normal. They are able to take in the surroundings, understand the motives of individuals, recognize when anything is out of place, and at the same time, they are aware of what to do with the knowledge that they have gathered. They are a person who perceives and acts, who considers and makes decisions. And as a result of this, they frequently become a point of equilibrium for those who are in their immediate vicinity. In addition to acting as a guide and advisor, they can also act as an emotional anchor. The experience of these individuals feeling tugged in different directions is not an unusual occurrence. At times, they have the want to withdraw, remain silent, and ponder. But the world calls them, and it requires them to be there, to move, and to take action. However, if there is no equilibrium, this can be very taxing. They are always having conversations with themselves. The other portion is looking for results and tangible accomplishments, while the first part is interested in flowing with spirituality. The key to success is to bring together both sides without allowing them to become overly competitive. These individuals who have been selected also possess an extraordinary capacity to comprehend what is concealed within language. They are able to see past appearances, to discern feelings that are being concealed, and to pick up on what is not being expressed. Because of this, they are excellent soul readers. In addition to being natural healers, they are also doers. They like being of assistance, listening, and inviting others. They also have the desire to build, to take the lead, and to make things happen. Therefore, they are able to be found in positions of leadership, as well as those that include healing. Exactly this is their mission: to bring together worlds that appear to be in opposition to one another, to demonstrate that spirituality and action may coexist effectively. The idea that sensitivity is a strength, and that leadership does not necessarily have to be harsh or frigid, is endorsed. You should be aware that your trip may be more challenging, but it will also be more rewarding if you have both of these signs on the same hand. The invisible has been translated into something that can change people's lives, and you have been called to be a bridge in this process. When certain signs occur together, they suggest a profound and almost spiritual calling. This is because certain marks are so extremely precious. The combination of the crescent moon and two M's, one on each hand, is one of those exceedingly uncommon combinations. There is no doubt that this spirit did not come to this world simply to live. A more important purpose was served by its arrival. The feeling that one does not belong in the patterns of the world is something that many people who have these symptoms experience from a very young age. One could say that they have always been different, more sensitive, more intense, and more aware of their surroundings. They have the ability to see what is underneath the surface. Even without words, they are able to feel the suffering of others. The simplicity with which they are able to perceive patterns, pick up on vibrations, and comprehend the cycles of life is remarkable. These individuals have access to a gateway to the invisible, a powerful link with subtle levels, spirituality, and intuition. And the crescent moon provides them with this opportunity. Dreams that are extremely vivid, premonitions, and a natural connection to the sacred are all familiar to them. Strongness, leadership, and clarity are all added by the two M's, which are held in each hand. The ability to do something is brought about by this double sign. Those that possess it are characterized by their presence, charisma, and propensity to take on important roles, even when they make no effort to do so. It is the coming together of these two worlds within the same individual that presents the issue. On the other hand, the world requires placement, speaking, and direction, while the soul yearns for solitude and stillness. Keeping a healthy equilibrium between the sensitive and the practical becomes absolutely necessary. These individuals come to undergo a transformation. They possess one-of-a-kind abilities, but they must learn how to safeguard them. When they do not take care of themselves, get enough rest, and maintain a connection with their own essence, their sensitivity can become a burden. It is not because they are deserving of suffering that they are forced to go through challenging times. Rather, it is because they are formed in fire from the experience. These spirits are being polished in preparation for something bigger with each and every difficulty that they face. As a result of carrying this mix, individuals are also exceptionally perceptive. Not a single item is overlooked. They have the ability to discern imbalances, perceive concealed intentions, and sense lies in the air. Not out of fear, but rather out of prudence. This causes them to remain mute most of the time. These individuals have a need for sacred spaces, which are areas where they can take deep breaths, re-establish connections, and recall who they are. Practicing meditation, spending time in nature, and remaining spiritually alive. Their vitality is nourished by all of these, and their strength is adjusted accordingly. Understanding that you are not here by chance is essential if you have these three signs: a crescent moon, two M's, and a crescent moon. You have something that the world is looking for, and it is you. A unique gift, a different point of view, and a light that cannot be extinguished are all examples of this. As a bridge, a guide, a beacon, and an example, You have been selected to fulfill these roles. You have been urged, above all else, to be authentic in your own right. And that, in and of itself, changes everything that is going on around you. There comes a time in the life of every person who has been selected when something starts to alter. Fireworks are not included in the package. This is not a categorical warning. A different kind of silence, a sensation in the chest, or a look in the mirror that goes deeper are all examples of what can happen at times.